Hey, what's up, guys? Alan here from NextWave. Putting together a quick video of a secret shop, a massive secret shop that we did about a year ago, where we looked at over 150 different senior living communities and we spread it out over 20 different states. And we did this over a couple months. And then we kind of aggregated some data just to get a feel for how the lead response is in senior living. And we put together this white paper, and I just wanted to do a quick video to run through the results with you because I think they're pretty compelling. So like I said, we did 150 communities over 20 different states. So a number of different companies. I forget exactly how many different companies, but we decided to spread it out all over the United States. So we got a pretty good feel for the industry as a whole. And yeah, so I'll go through kind of each page of the white paper here. We tracked everything over a few different methods of response. So we tracked the phone response, we tracked email, we tracked text messages, any way that the community could potentially get back to us about our inquiry, we tracked. And we did that over 6 weeks. So we would submit something, and then over that 6 week period, we would see how many times did they contact us via these various channels. And yeah, down here is an example of what we would say. So we would typically submit a form. We would typically look on the community's website for a request a tour form. And we would say something along the lines of, hi, this is whoever, Maria. My father urgently needs senior living. We'd like to schedule a tour as soon as possible. Can someone reach out to us quickly? So this is really a bottom of the funnel, someone who's ready to make a move, strong buyer intent, and we wanted to track how well that did. So so yeah, let's go through some of the results here. So the average response time on the phone was 46 hours, and I'll try to cherry pick some of the stats that I think are more compelling to take notice of. I would say probably the first one here is the number that didn't follow up at all. So almost 30% of the communities had zero follow up. So no phone calls, no texts, no emails, nothing, just crickets, radio silence. When we aggregated everything together, we found that the average response time was 46 hours for someone to typically give us a call back. So almost 2 days. During that time, or included in their follow up, the average number of follow up attempts that we got was two. So this is really important to note. I'm sure you guys are well aware. There's tons of data on this of the number of follow up attempts that it takes. It's usually around 9. So this is very indicative, and we go into why this is in other videos and other things. Mainly salespeople being spread too thin to put in the follow up that's required to actually contact someone. But usually after 2 attempts, if they did respond at all after 2 attempts, unsuccessful, they just said, okay, that's enough. Let me move on to the next person. Let's see, we've got some data here on the most follow-up attempts. Communities that responded in less than 30 minutes. So this is another big stat that I'm sure a lot of you in sales have heard for response times, just how important it is to be that first person that responds to a new prospect. And only 3% out of the 150 communities, only 3% responded within 30 minutes. So that's very, very telling. And the contact percentage. So this was an interesting one because we know from working in senior living and working in sales how many attempts it takes to actually make contact with someone. On average, we've got tons of data on that from working in the industry. And we put together just what the estimated contact percentage was based on the communities that followed up enough times in order to make contact. And we calculated that at 22%. So you could say, out of 5 leads, say if 5 new people said, hey, I'd like to request a tour, only one on average is actually having a conversation with the salesperson about coming in and booking a tour. So that's 80% almost of the people who you've most likely paid to get that lead. You've most likely been running paid ads, or you've driven them to the site. They're there. They're ready to actually set a tour and come in. 4 out of 5 of those are um, just going into a black hole. Essentially, they're not talking to anybody, and they're either going to a competitor or they're changing their mind. They're giving up. Okay, let's see. And here's a couple graphs kind of showing this. So here's the breakdown. This is just phone response time by number of communities. So as you can see, the vast majority were over 48 hours. Very few, looks like 2 communities were less than 5 minutes, which is great, good for them, but only 2 out of 150. 3, 4, 5, so 5 in total were 30 minutes or less. Yep, and here we go, the average response time. And then this is obviously comparing us, NextWave, where we do lead response, we do appointment setting for senior living and home care companies. And obviously speed to lead is a term that most people are familiar with. That's very important to getting people in the door. There's the industry standard there at 46 hours. Let's see, we got the contact rate, as we said, and then percentage who have successfully booked a tour or put in the required activities necessary to book a tour. Out of the 150 communities, we estimated about 7% put in the effort that would be required to get one of those leads in the door. And at NextWave, we look between 15 to 20%. It's obviously depending on the quality of the leads, how good they are. But this is one of the reasons that one of our value positioning statements for NextWave is that we're going to effectively double the percentage of the lead to tour that we're going to get. So we say usually at least a guarantee of around 47-50% increase in the tours that come from your existing leads. So using the leads that you already have, we're going to help you get a lot more bang for your buck out of those leads that you've already paid for. And so they don't go to waste, essentially. Okay, yep. And then this last page just has some of our metrics. Obviously, we're responding to every lead. 100% of the leads get touched. We're responding to everybody, usually immediately, depending on the different outreach that we create with the client, either automated through text and email to start, and then a call from one of our agents very soon after. And then we always make sure to hit the number of follow-up attempts that's necessary to make contact with someone. So to give the best chance to actually get someone on the phone, have a conversation, do basic qualification, and get them in. Let's see. And then, yeah, on this last page too, we just have some kind of recommendations for people who are looking to improve this. One of the best things you can do just to get a benchmark is to track your contact percentage. So this isn't as easy as it sounds. You need to be having salespeople who are tracking every interaction with your prospects and actually saying, did we get in touch with this person? Did we either, and typically the way we do it at NextWave is, did we have a one-to-one interaction with them while we're talking to each other? So it could be over the phone. It could be texting back and forth. It could be emailing back and forth, but at some point there's been a live prospect talking to a live salesperson and they're in contact with each other. So unless your salespeople are tracking this diligently, it's going to be tricky to measure, but that's a very important one. And then obviously lead to tour percentage, very important as well. Yeah, and then down here we just kind of have some basic things you can do to increase your contact percentage, increase your lead to tour percentage. Yeah, and that's it. So I'll link to this document, to this white paper, in the details under the video here. But if you're interested in getting more out of your existing leads, booking more tours, booking more move-ins, without having to pay for more leads and help to prevent some of those leads from going to waste. You've already spent a lot of money and time and effort to generate the lead. You actually want to get them on the phone and get them into one of your communities. That's something we can help with. So if you're interested, book a demo, we can chat. And yeah, hope you found this helpful, useful, interesting. So have a good one, guys. Thank you.